Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody had a festive 4th of July weekend and is recovering as best they can. So we'd like to welcome you folks to another edition of Boxed Lunches here at the Fort Worth Community Arts Center. We are back in Fort Worth today with a very, very special guest all the way from Arts de la Rosa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sara Herrera. Did I say that right, Sara?
You did.
Awesome. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. So happy to meet you virtually and to have this interview. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, we are so grateful to have you and can't thank you enough for taking the time and joining me for lunch today. So before we get started, would you mind just introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about who you are and what it is you do?
Great. So again, my name is Sara Herrera. I am the education director at Artes de la Rosa, in addition to their dance instructor for the Artes Academy program, youth program that we have. My family and I, we just moved here from Washington, D.C. We are a week in our new home, and so I moved all the boxes for y'all, so you don't have to see that in the background. But yeah, I am a full-time artist, choreographer, dancer, actress, robot dancer as well. Other than that, yeah, that's who I am. I grew up here in Fort Worth, actually, but I haven't been back in 23 years, so it's been wonderful to rediscover my hometown and the wonderful, evolving art community here. So, yeah.
Well, we are so grateful and welcome back to Texas.
Thank you.
I'm assuming things weren't quite as crazy when you originally left, were they?
No.
Well, as Texans often do, they find a way. We are moving forward, probably not as quickly as some people would hope, but you know, it is what it is. And so, again, thanks for coming home, and we're very glad to have you back in Fort Worth and also participating in the art scene down here. And look forward to all of the great things that you bring back, and just very, very glad to have you. So what is on your lunch menu today?
So on my lunch menu is mozzarella caprese. It is one of my favorite dishes. I'm super excited to make it as I skipped breakfast this morning, so my stomach is growling. So please do not judge me as I gobble this up towards the end. Yeah, I actually picked up some fresh basil today. Elizabeth Anna's old garden center off of 8th Avenue. Oh my gosh, they were so gracious to hand me some fresh basil. Smells delicious.
Nice.
I cannot wait to use this. But yeah, that is what is on our lunch menu.
Awesome. Now, after the interview, if you can, stop back by on the comment sections. Any links or anything for any of the places that you've used or that you would like us to know about, make sure you drop them down in the thing, and we'll also try to keep up with some of that as well. Sounds like a great resource for some vegetable items there. So I didn't know about that. And that's over on 8th Street, you said?
It's on 8th Avenue.
8th Avenue. Good to know. Good to know.
Care of me.
All right. So what other lovely ingredients go into this?
So we have fresh tomatoes here, mozzarella that I got from Trader Joe's. We have sea salt, ground peppercorns, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and I like to have a little spice in mine, so I put crushed red peppers. Yes. I was just really happy that I found all of the ingredients after we unboxed everything.
Always a bonus, always a bonus. All right, so I've come out of a holiday weekend and I need to go shopping yet again. It seems like there's never enough stuff. So I'm winging it today, and I am gonna make a chicken with black beans and rice. So I'm kind of curious to see how this turns out today. Not a lot of prep work. It's pretty easy to make on the stove. And then my ingredients are, I'm going to fry up some chicken strips. uncovered or whatever. They're just raw chicken, basically. And then I've got a can of black beans that I've opened up, along with some rice from a recipe a few days ago. And then the real secret is some tomatoes and green chilies, which I've mixed together. And so I'll throw that there in as well. And then I'll top all that off with a little corn. But for the most part, I just fry the chicken, throw all the stuff in a saucepan, let it heat up. And then I'll put the rice in it a little bit, let it absorb some of that moisture. And then hopefully it'll plate up and will be absolutely delicious. So.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna salivate just a little bit.
That's quite all right. So are you ready to get started?
I am, yes, yes.
All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your lunch preparation there, how you get started, and what it is you do to create this fabulous lunch?
Well, first of all, make sure I sanitize my hands. I washed all the ingredients. So this is very, very, I'm improvising here. So I have my cutting boards on top of our stove. So, but yeah, so I take the center part of the tomato out, the core of it, and then just slice it up. I like thick mozzarella caprese. So I make sure that I cut thick slices for my tomatoes. Another great ingredient that I use, but I haven't found any here. I may butcher. I always pronounce this wrong, but I believe it's persimmons.
I think so.
Persimmons. Yes. I also do persimmon caprese as well, which is so good. It's so good. So yeah, after I slice all of that, I will move on to the mozzarella. But I like to decorate my plate like so.
Very pretty. That looks great.
I find myself very special.
All right. Well, while you're prepping some of that stuff, I was curious if you'd talk a little bit about how is your organization or you yourself, how have they been reacting to all of this COVID-19 pandemic?
Oh, let's see, where to begin? You know, in all honesty, I am very proud of all the steps we've taken to ensure that not only the staff, but the students, are fully prepared and safe once they enter our building. So the faculty was brought back on May 18th so that we could come up with a plan to open up in-person summer camp beginning June 1st. So we just finished our first round of in-person summer camps this past week. So it was very, very nerve-wracking, lots of emotional roller coaster all around because, this is a serious pandemic and,
Yes.
Everyone's concerns and suggestions and really just respected that. I think that's the main thing, and adhering to all of the CDC rules and regulations, and again just making sure that we had a solid plan for our students once they entered our building. We cut down the size of students. Usually they have up to 100 students for summer camps. We only allowed 30.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so everyone, anyone who entered our building was just staff and the students, that's it. We had a nice team, our faculty, our interns. We did seminars. Our board really helped us with all the resources and ensuring that, again, we are taking all safety measures possible and then some. We did a lot of mock trials as far as like how our camp would go. So really making sure rotations were going well, really measuring all the 6 feet and then some for our students. Each student had their own working station with the visual arts and technology classes. For dance and theater, same thing. The stage was all marked out with 6 feet, and we never had more than 8 students per class. yeah, I think the biggest thing was just trusting in ourselves in the process, and allowing ourselves to, especially for me, because it was a very stressful time, and allowing myself to be like, all right, this is emotional and stressful, but guess what? We have such a strong team right now that has brought so much positivity and so much, light to all of this. It just felt really comforting. At the end of the day, I was extremely, at the end of the day, I had trust with everything that we came up with as far as the schedule. And, again, with all the safety measures that I signed my own daughter up. So she was
Oh,
there.
wow.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
there.
that goes a long way to say how you feel about that, for sure.
Yeah, and everyone, again, everyone had to wear their masks. That was the hardest thing. Making my own daughter was a guinea pig for when I would teach dance classes. Like, okay, how long can you last with your mask on without overheating? So what I did with dance is we took 5-minute breaks, face mask breaks every 15 minutes. And this just allowed the students to find their breath, grab a drink of water, meditate, or just sit and calm themselves, because it gets extremely hot, with your mask on, doing physical activity. Even though we had air circulation and everything, if there was a student who was like, Miss Sarah, I'm overheating, I need to take a break, everyone took a break, because if that one student vocalize that, I'm pretty sure other students might have felt the same way. So just being
Sure.
really respectful of all of that.
Sure. Wow. Sounds like some great procedures, and safety first and foremost in everyone's mind. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to tell you real quick. I've got my pan heated up, and so I am just going to throw my chicken in there and let that start cooking up a little bit. I'll try to move a little fast here. And so that just goes on the fryer, and then I've got my tomatoes and green chilies. I just throw those into a saucepan. I've got my black beans as well, so I'm just going to drop those in. And then, of course, the fresh corn, that goes in there as well. I will turn that heat up and let that start simmering, and mix it up just a little bit. And while that is warming up, it sounds like starting a new job is stressful enough. Moving to a new job is also stressful. And then you add a pandemic into the middle of all of that. How are you coping personally? What challenges did you see? Did you overcome? And how did you go about all of that happening in such a short period of time? How'd you deal with that personally?
Whiskey.
I love that you're truthful about your answer. That's great.
Wow. Yeah, it was, I think for everyone, 2020 has been an emotional ride. I moved here to start my job at Untitled Rosa in January. My family, my husband, our 7-year-old daughter, and our 2 lovable doggies stayed in DC. The whole time, this was the plan, and my husband's like, we support you, go do this. This is what, the line of work you've been wanting to do. That first day I arrived here in Fort Worth, I cried in bed forever, thinking I was a horrible mom, a horrible wife. What am I doing? I'm being selfish. And then I quickly got over that. My first week at Artes de la Rosa was a whirlwind. But in a good way. And after that first week, I called my husband and I was like, yes, we're moving here. This is happening, most definitely. Because again, this was just to get my feet wet, see if this was the right move for everyone, and it was. So I'm very, very happy and grateful for having this opportunity. we hit the ground running once I arrived, starting to do registration for students for the spring, meeting the rest of the faculty and staff, board members, community leaders, other art organizations that they partner with. Oh, it was so much. I was, extremely busy the whole time, going to art exhibits, to shows, just meeting more artists in the area. And then the pandemic hit. So with that, once Texas was about to shut down, I quickly flew to DC to weather the storm with my family, because it was hard enough being away all that time, and
Sure.
I didn't know how long this would last, and I was not going to waste another second. So I booked my ticket. I don't even think I took luggage with me. I just needed them. So and that was wonderful, getting to spend more time with my daughter, and my husband, and, walking our dogs together. That's, things like that I really missed. And then, once things started to slow down a bit, the organization brought the faculty and myself back on May 18th. And again, we hit the ground running once again to ensure that we had a proper schedule, procedures in line for our students and their families to trust us to sign up their kids for classes on June 1st. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you've had a new home to keep you busy. And if I heard you correctly, your family is all together now, right? Back in
all together. Yes. Oh, yeah. 1 weekend.
Nice. Well, that's great. You get to try out your new kitchen now. I'm sure you still have some boxes to unpack to keep you busy. How's your lunch coming there? And what's next in your preparation process?
All right. So I already sliced up the mozzarella. So we have right here. And then I've also been eating some while your back was turned. So. And so now I'm going to place some of these fresh basil cuttings that I received earlier today. And I'm going to place them. I really love basil, so I tend to put at least 3 leaves on each of the mozzarellas and tomatoes. My daughter is poking her head in.
That's quite all right. We welcome everyone. Hello.
Sure, if you would like to. Yeah, you want to cut some up for me? Or you just take them off right here from the stem. And then you just spread them out like cream cheese on a bagel. There you go. Excellent. Yeah, so we're just placing all the basil on top, and then I am going to mix the olive oil and balsamic vinaigrette in this nice little dish, in addition to adding some sea salt, peppercorns, and crushed red pepper. And mix that all up and then sprinkle that around the mozzarella caprese.
Sounds delicious. While you're doing that, will you talk a little bit about how do you see the arts adapting now that businesses are starting to reopen, and as we move through this pandemic? Where do you see the arts going in the future?
Oh, I've always felt, and especially now, we're limitless. There's no limit to anything and everything that we can do. As far as adapting, I see it as evolving as artists, as educators. I think, it scares me, with, seeing what you never know what the future brings, but I really trust in our artist community near and far. Speaking with a lot of my artists back in DC, it's just amazing with all the work that they've been able to do and all the individuals that they've met through all of this, because everyone is going virtual. Everyone is placing, their artwork, their dance classes, their choreography, theater productions, digital. And it's more than just doing a reading, online. It's just a full production in somebody's closet, or in the bathroom, things like that, and just really making the best out of everything. I think, there's, you got your highs and your lows, but it's just all about evolving and making it, this world, obviously, just a better place. And that is through art. There's so many people out there that are in the art world. They are extremely passionate about this. And, there's also those that are, you have those days where you get a little scared and nervous, but, we dive right on in, it's just being okay with failing. It's trials and tribulations throughout this entire process. So that's how I look at it. So less of adapting, but more of evolving.
That's a great way to put it. Absolutely. So does Arts de la Rosa, have they presented a virtual platform for some of their programming as well?
I'm so happy that you brought that up. So I had another Zoom meeting with our faculty. So we are coming up with our virtual platform right now. When this all started back in March, we did have some of our classes posted on YouTube for our students to, it was basically like, homework. So for dance classes and for our film classes and theater and visual arts, and for the students to create at home. So it was kind of almost like a pilot of it, just to see how that would go. So, but we discussed further as far as going digital with our classes. So, what's so great about, the team, the faculty, is they bring up, so many great questions and concerns that I overlook, and they're smart. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. How is that going to work? But let's figure out a way together. So it's been wonderful. I'm extremely grateful for them and our amazing executive director, William, who sadly could not join today. But he's working really hard to ensure that the faculty has the proper support to move forward with all of our classes. So so be on the lookout. We may be doing digital classes. Again, we're just keeping our eyes, ears, and everything open as far as, things move forward with the pandemic. So if we feel that, there are more concerns from families that would not like to continue in-person classes, then we are working on something to bring those classes virtually and what that would look like.
Great. That sounds absolutely fantastic. Now, I know you mentioned dance classes and some art. What all disciplines are involved in the programming that you have right now at Arts de la Rosa for the kids?
Yeah, so like I said, we have dance. I am the dance instructor at Arts de la Rosa. So for the dance component, for this upcoming summer camp, each week is a workshop. So the students get to take 4 workshops from each art discipline. So for dance, the first week will be Intro to Contemporary Dance and Choreography. The second week will be Jazz Dance Basics, so getting students prepared for auditions, The third week, which I'm really excited about, is West Side Story Choreography, so learning excerpts of the original choreography from West Side Story. And then the 4th and final week, I was going to do hip hop, but a lot of the students are very into K-pop. I don't know
Yes.
K-pop. I am, I'm not going to say this, too out loud, but I'm not a very cool person. And I am so out of the loop of what these kids are doing. So I was like, K-pop, what is this? So so we're going to do K-pop, and we're going to learn 2, I won't say which videos or which choreography they are, but we are going to learn 2 K-pop famous choreography, and at the end of that week, we are going to film that. So it'll be their own K-pop music video.
Wow, sounds like you have a little bit of a instructor workshop as well.
Yeah, my students are very excited about that.
Never too old to learn, are we?
Never too old. I mean, you saw me do the robot in this early segment, so.
Well, it sounds like there's all kinds of great stuff there for sure.
There's so much, and we have 3D printers, we have laptops and iPads for our students with the technology component of it. We have an amazing technology instructor, Kobe Chapa, who is just really bringing a whole array of wealth of knowledge for our students. For our visual arts, Miss Janae Bean, she is doing these incredible anime workshops for our students. They'll be doing origami, self-portraits. There's so much that is going on with those classes. In summer camp 1, they did toilet paper sculptures. I was blown away. I was blown away. Blown away with everything that was created. Oh my gosh. I will be posting we will be posting all of these pictures and videos of what the students have created from Summer Camp 1 very soon, so please follow us. And Absolutely. Then for the theater component, Rob Bosquez, he's been with the Artes de la Rosa for almost 13 years.
Since the beginning of time, I think.
Oh my gosh, what a gem, what a treasure. I mean, in all honesty, he's amazing to work with. I've learned a lot from him, being here, in all honesty, for like maybe 3 months into the job, going on 4. He's incredible. So
he really is. He's great and very talented actor as well.
So talented. Yeah, so he's doing theater improv all 4 weeks, and there are different themes with theater improv with the students. So yeah, and we carry that out throughout the entire year through our fall and spring. And again, earlier today with the faculty, in addition to discussing our digital classes, the potential of having digital classes, is already preparing for what our theme will be for fall and spring. So at the end of the semester, all art disciplines, formatting a showcase that is cohesive, so it's not separate, but it's all one theme. So we're just really excited about all these possibilities and the opportunities that we'll be sharing with the students and the families and the community in general. So yeah.
Sounds fantastic. Some wonderful programming going over there at Arts de la Rosa. So on a personal note, now that you are back in Texas, what item or food venue are you most looking forward to indulging in once you're comfortable enough to get back out and into society?
Oh man. Oh. What am I don't know. I really don't know.
Have you been gone that long, really?
I mean, I love French fries. If you know of a good place that makes solid French fries, that is that is my kryptonite. I need to stay away as much as possible, but once I get that with the smell, I'm just like, ooh.
Well, I can almost guarantee you that somebody in the comments will list some fabulous French fry recipe or location that I have no idea about. I'm old school. If I need good French fries, as bad as they are for you, I'm going straight to McDonald's. So.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to do like a full marathon before and after I have these French fries. You can't just have 1 or 2 or a bucket. You gotta have 2 buckets,
I know, exactly. So interesting. All right. Well, there's always, Tex-Mex all over the place. Barbecue, can't suggest it enough. Are you missing the seafood yet from the DC area?
Yes, one of the traditions that my husband's family has, and we now do this as well, is we have a seafood dinner for Christmas Eve, and so trying to find fresh seafood. We have the wharf down in DC,
Yep.
and that's where we would always go for our seafood, and not just for that specific holiday, but just in general. Yeah, we will definitely miss that. But we got some, good tips from one of my brother's friends, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, if you ever go back to DC, bring me back some seafood bisque or any of that, and I'll come meet you safely with a mask on. And I miss that food immensely. So I spent a few years up there in DC, and that was indeed one of the highlights. Was the seafood up around Chesapeake Bay is just nothing better. So. All right. So speaking of fabulous food, how are you coming there on your lunch? I
I
just added my rice, and so I will let that absorb some of that moisture in there. And I think my chicken's about done. How are you doing?
Good. I am now about to spread the vinaigrette, olive oil and vinegar on top of the caprese, and hopefully I made the mixture correctly. I don't know, but I'm still gonna eat it because my stomach is growling.
Uh, so while you're doing that, do you have any secret tips or tricks to assure deliciousness with your lunch?
Do I have any secret? I think just going into it and just being extremely grateful for the food that is about to enter into
And that fresh basil, right?
basil. I mean, you can't go wrong with fresh basil. Oh
No,
my
you can't. So
God.
my secret ingredient today, and I think I may have used this before as well, but again, Trader Joe's, can't go wrong. Chili and lime seasoning. It is absolutely fantastic. So I put some of that on the chicken before I fried that up. And that's my tip for everybody. Go out and get some. As you can see, I am totally out. So I will be having to restock that. Luckily, I had just enough for the chicken today. And I think I'm getting closer to moving on to my plating and presentation. So is yours pretty much finished? That's about it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it that I have here.
Wow, that looks absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to start plating mine up. And while I'm doing that, do you mind talking a little bit about what helpful community resources are you seeing or using personally? And how can your organization be assisted or provide assistance to other artists and arts organizations?
Oh, wow. So, first of all, with our Artist Academy program, one of the organizations that we're very excited to be a part of is the Area Food Bank. Our students
Right?
are the opportunity to have free lunch during camp. So very, very excited about that, and all the families using that program, taking not advantage, but taking part in this program, which is really great. Another one, I would say a lot of the, I can't remember the names, but we have had donations of face masks and gloves for our students. So if students are able or forget their face mask, we're there. We have that for them. So I will make sure that William sends those names to you.
Fair enough.
But so that first and foremost is just really making sure that we're taking care of our students and the families and
That
making
is
sure that
fantastic. Yes, extremely important. Good to know. Good to know. And I'm sure that a lot of parents out there feel safer already. And hopefully, you'll be able to get in there and enjoy some of those programs. So, with that being said, probably the most important question: how do we find out about your opportunities over at Arts de la Rosa? And how do we keep in touch with you to find out about these great programs?
great. So if you just step out of your porch and do a call, Sarah, I'll hear you. This is what happens when I'm hungry. No, in all seriousness, you can find us on social media. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are now on Snapchat and TikTok,
Ooh.
thanks to our amazing interns who just graduated from high school. Yes, so shout out to Anna E. Solomon and Alex. Um, and you can find us also, all the information on our website, artistdelarosa.org. If you have any questions about Artist Academy and signing up your child for any of our youth programs, you can reach me at Sara, S-A-R-A, Herrera, Herrera, at artistdelarosa.org. All one word. We will start loading up all of the films that the students created this past summer camp 1, in addition to just highlights over the past 4 weeks. Another thing that we are doing at Artist de la Rosa, one of our board members, Bernardo, has started Artists in Spanglish, or Spanglish at
Nice.
in Spanglish, yes. So he has been interviewing local artists and community leaders and posting them on our Facebook page. In addition to, I believe on every Friday, Chef Cecilia Lopez is doing weekly Latin cuisines. And they'll post the recipe and all the ingredients that you need to take this class with her on Facebook, and it's all free. I think there is a donation page for her, but it's just, again, just finding more ways to reach out to our community.
Great resource. Absolutely. Yeah. I need to take that so I can get some more recipes for my boxed lunch.
Yes. It's great. I have to as well. And I need to get in on that. But yeah. And then, in the fall, we will begin preparation for our annual Dia de los Muertos celebration. Yep. So be on the lookout for that, as far as how we move forward with the celebration this year. But yeah, we're just really excited about, the potential of all these opportunities coming into the fall for us.
Now I'm gonna give a plug, and correct me if I'm wrong. We'll see if my notes were correct and if I paid attention properly. So you are also going to be coming to us at the Fort Worth Community Arts Center in September for the Fort Worth Fringe Festival. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
All right, so I'll give the shameless plug for you. So you'll be out there a weekend in September performing with us as well. Are you in the Sanders or the Vault performance space?
You ask so much of me.
I think you're in the Sanders. So I'll find that out, and we'll put a little link down here to the Fort Worth Fringe Festival as well, which is still scheduled. And hopefully we'll be able to continue with that as well in September. So keep your eyes open for that as well. So we're very anxious to have you, and very excited that you're coming over to our side of the metro. Is that right? I would say the tracks, but I guess Arts de la Rosa is on the other side of the tracks. So anyway, welcome to the Community Arts Center. We're very excited to see you in September. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. And my solo piece is about my hometown of Fort Worth, growing up in Fort Worth. So I showcased it in the East Coast, and I'm so ecstatic to showcase it here in my hometown. So.
Well, we're very, very grateful to have you. And all right, so any other final thoughts or comments for the Facebook world out there?
Final thoughts. Keep smiling, stay sane, be healthy, take care of each other, have fun being around your family and friends, social distancing, of course, but yeah, I can't wait to see you all very, very soon, whether it's virtually or in person, but again, just take care of each other.
Awesome. And wear your masks, people. Stay safe out there.
Yes.
All right, Sarah, I think that does it. Here is my presentation. It actually turned out pretty well. I think I'm pretty happy about that. So I've got the chicken, the rice, the black beans, and all of that other good stuff in there. Do you mind if I get one more look at yours? It just absolutely looks fantastic. Healthy, and just looks delicious. You're right, that basil appears to make all the difference in the world. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for another episode of our Box Lunch program. Make sure you follow us over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're also over on YouTube. We've got some previous Box Lunch episodes, along with some great gallery videos and all kinds of stuff to see as well over there. So check us out. And with that being said, bon appetit. Farewell, everybody. We'll be back on Friday with another new episode. Sarah, thank you so much. All the best to you and your family. Welcome to Texas. And we'll be seeing you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
There goes mine. Oh, it's so good.